Hey everyone. Had some questions on using kind of a pointer, if you will, to gather up objects. So the way that the like arc pointer for the teleport works, it's fairly complicated. And since I think you still need the teleporting, from what I remember from that team, we're just going to leave teleporting alone and use that arc purely for that. But I did want to show you a way to do what you're asking to do. So I've got this scene here. This is just a fresh scene in Unity, completely empty. I'm going to delete my main camera here, and I've got this floor prefab. We're going to go ahead and throw that in there, reset that to 0, and go to SteamVR. Go to interaction system, core, prefabs, player, and reset that. Get that right at the center. So I'll probably move it actually over here. And we're going to make a little shooting range. So I guess let's do our shooting gallery table. We'll pull this up and over. And then let's do some things to hit. So we're going to do sphere, and I'm going to scale it down a little bit. And I'm going to make a few, first things first, we'll call this one, yeah, we'll just leave it as a sphere. Going to add a tag. So tag, go down to add tag. We'll call this bounce, I guess. And remember now to go in and actually apply that tag. So we have this tag bounce added. We have a collider on here, and so I'm gonna do a couple things. I'm gonna add a rigid body and make sure it has gravity, mass. Yep, we're good. And then up here for collider, I'm gonna add a physic material. I'm gonna add bouncy. And what that's going to do is basically when we start playing the scene, that ball's going to bounce a bunch. So I'm going to duplicate that a few times. And all right. And maybe vary the height on those. So we get some interesting stuff. And then finally, I will apply a material. We'll make those red, I guess. Okay. Actually, you know what? Here, we'll do it. We'll do this way. We're actually going to duplicate all of those. And just a little more moving around here. Just bear with me for a moment here. Okay, so now I'm actually going to apply to some of these kind of this yellow material. And we'll do one more. And then we'll do one with this black material. And so I'm actually going to do now, I'm going to come up here to tag. I'm going to get rid of some of these tags. we just don't need them. Okay. So I'm going to add a tag here. We're going to call this one yellow. And we'll call this one red. And we'll call this one black. All right, great. So I'm going to save. Going to go Control S. And then I'm actually going to I'm going to right click UI Text Mesh Pro. I'm going to import Text Mesh Pro Essentials. That'll take just a second here. All right, now let's say I wanted to do something kind of like an old western-y shootout font or something weird like that. Or I guess this is more spacey, so maybe like a space font. Check some of these free font sites. Oh, we don't want Roboto. All right. Not having much luck there. Let's try this. Perfect. All right. So download this one. There we go. Drag this down into Unity. And I'm going to make a folder for fonts. And I was in materials, yeah. All right, so I need to do one thing here with my Text Mesh Pro, and I actually need to go into Window, Text Mesh Pro, Font Asset Creator. And we're going to go in here to Source Font File. We're going to select one of these. And we're just going to say Generate Font Atlas. And this makes a really nice vector scalable version. I know it looks like crap here, but it actually is what we want. So we're going to go ahead and say Save. Sure. And same thing here, generate font atlas. And depending on how much typography you really want to do, you can get kerning pairs. You can set your atlas resolution to bigger if you really want it to be even higher resolution. All this fun stuff. But I just want to get this in here to show you all. All right, so we have this canvas screen space overlay, which in our case is going to actually go over where our eyes are. But let's go ahead and I'm going to do, for my Text Mesh Pro, I'm going to pin this up into the upper right. I'm actually going to hold down Shift and Alt so that it pins it right up there. And drag it to right about there. We'll go there, we'll go there, we'll go, I don't know, we'll say 0, 0. And we're going to change this to that one. Great. And make the color. Actually, let's make the color kind of a greenish. Or we'll go, yeah, kind of an orangey, yellowy orange. Cool. And great. And so, oops. Let's actually resize that like that. Okay. We'll call this one points. Cool. All right. So now back to our scene, back to our spheres. What we want to have happen is that we're going to shoot out, click when we're clicking. If we get one of these guys, red will be worth 1, yellow will be worth 3, black will be worth 5. So back to our player, what we want to do here is click on our right hand, or you could do left hand if you're left-handed. Obviously, you'd make something for the user to choose, but we're going to add this SteamVR laser pointer script, and you can see here it's got kind of a line. I'm going to do the thickness. I think the thickness of 0.002 is okay, but I think the click color is a bit much. So I'm thinking that maybe we're going to start at kind of a, I guess kind of this darkish purple lavender sort of thing. And then on click, let's go ahead and add that. And then, yes, we'll add that like that. And then on click, we're just going to take that and just full opacity. So same color, but just, indicating that you're clicking. And just show you where we're at right now. I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. All right. So one thing I noticed, and this was I forgot about this. The canvas here I've got set to screen space, and this is going to cause the canvas to continue to incur a rendering cost even though the canvas will not be visible. So we're actually going to do camera, and then we actually want to drag our where is our camera? Over here. There it is. So on our canvas, we want to drag our camera here. So screen space, camera. And you can see here, plane distance. We can actually move that further away. We'll just leave it at 100 for now and see what we get. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. Still not rendering. Let's see. All right, so we may need to do that as a world space rather than a screen space camera. So I'm not going to worry about that too terribly much. But we will make it a world space just so you guys can see. And probably have to scale. Keeping in mind that, you know, world space canvases are, let's do position 0. There we go. Okay, cool. So we want it to be a little bit bigger than that. Yeah, that's a good size. And so now we can grab this, and we can just move this kind of right there, and then grab our canvas, move it right there. And so now we'll see that right there constantly. Okay, so back to our pointer. What we want to have happen is that when the pointer is here and we click, it's going to make that object go away and count it to the points. So back to our right hand. If we add a component, we're going to make a new script, and we're going to call this pointer controller. And we're going to do a few things here. There's a bunch of stuff happening in the laser pointer script that we want, but we don't really want to change that. And so we're going to go in here. We're going to say using valve.vr.extras. And then we're going to come here and we're going to delete where it says mono behavior. Start typing laser. We're going to say, actually, yes, we're going to start typing laser. So we'll say SteamVR laser pointer. Okay. And so first things first, let's say there are these methods that are in SteamVR laser pointer we want to inherit. So we're going to say public override void. Whoops. So there's on pointer click, on pointer in, on pointer out. So what we want is click. And just ignore this. This is basically saying everything you need to know. So basically on pointer click, what we're going to say is if E, by the way, E being the thing that we're hitting, or E being our set of stuff we can pull from the laser. So the thing we're hitting is going to be E.target dot gameObject dot tag equals yellow then we're going to say we actually need to keep track of our points. And so we're going to start here and we're going to say int points. And we're going to say actually points equals 0 to start out. And so then we'll come down here and we'll say if that gameObject.tag is yellow, then points plus equals 1. And that's going to add 1 to points. Now we could just do points equals points plus 1, but points plus equals 1 is easier. You could also do points plus plus, but we want to do plus equals because we're going to do different amounts. So now we're going to say if e.target.gameObject.tag equals red, points plus equals 2. And if e.target.gameObject.tag equals black, points plus equals, we'll say 10. Okay, and so now we will go ahead and add those points when we do this, but we also want to make sure that that thing goes away, right? So we're going to say e.target.gameObject, sorry, we are going to say destroy e.target.gameObject. And say the same thing here, and the same thing here. So now, if we get E and it has one of these tags and we click, then it's going to add the respective points and it's going to destroy that object. So we're going to say Control S to save. And now what we can do is we want to update our text. So we need to say using TM Pro, Text Mesh Pro. We're going to have a public Text Mesh Pro UGUI. We'll call that counter text. We'll save. And then what we'll do here is we will say counter text dot set text points. So if we get one of these, sorry, we need to do points dot to string. You need to convert the integer into a string. So now if we click and it's yellow, we'll do that, and we're actually just going to copy. It's going to be the same thing again. And ordinarily you would actually make probably another, since we're just reusing the same thing here. Probably just make a separate method and just pass in the point value in that particular case. So, all right. So let's give this a try. Let's one thing we're gonna have to do is drag our counter text in. So if we come over here, we go back to right hand. So we have this counter text. So we can actually drag that right there. And let's see what we get. See if this works. Hopefully it will. All right, and it is not working. And so what we want to do is figure out why that is the case. And it looks like well, first off, we want to update our colors here on our pointer controller, because this is actually inheriting from here. So we can remove this one up here, and we just need this one here. Gonna go ahead and save, and let's make sure that we are saved in here. One thing we're going to do here is debug.log click, and this will let us know. We'll say click yellow, click red, and click black. So this will let us know which one we're clicking, assuming everything's coming through correctly. So let's see. So here's the issue. We never reassigned our tags. So on our sphere 1, let's see, that one is red. Sphere 2 looks to be yellow. Sphere 3 is black. Sphere 4 is red. Sphere 5 is yellow. Sphere 6 is red. Sphere 7 is red. And sphere 8 is yellow. All right, so let's go ahead and save. And let's go ahead and try again. All right, so you can see there we've got our objects are disappearing, and we've got our extra points. So that's a good thing. And what I would do now, because I don't know the exact extent of what you all are doing, is just figure out how those. I'd go back to this script here, this on pointer click, and just think through what types of tags I can use, and then what I want to do. So maybe there's something here where it triggers an animation or a sound. You can do all that here. So anyway, this is how I'd go about doing that. You've got you're gonna inherit from the SteamVR laser pointer, and you're gonna have this counter text. Sorry, this the tags on all the objects, and then so if, I think someone said a rabbit maybe. So if one of these is a bunny rabbit, you just put rabbit up here instead of yellow, and then you put rabbit over here, and then you just say what you want in here. So it's kind of the easy way to do this for now. If you have any questions, let me know.